Hi guys, how are you doing? Short video today. It is Saturday, about 11:30 right now, and I have to get up tomorrow a little bit earlier because I'm working on a music project, on a band project. So right now we're just preparing everything. Writing some songs, having some ideas, and so I have to get up a little bit earlier. So I'm sitting here thinking about my next video, and I'm actually not really sure. I'm not really sure about this topic. I wanna. I mean, of course, I have an idea in mind right now what I want to talk about, but I just had this idea in mind when you throw a curse. What happens when you throw a curse at a person? And I have several times. I think some of them were quite successful. Some may not have been that successful. So that happens. Shit happens. But generally, I would say I'm quite for good. Let's say I'm not going for complete. I may not go for complete annihilation of that individual or of a specific person when I want to throw a curse. But my aim is always to teach that person a lesson. That's the most important goal for me, so that they eventually can take something positive out of it, learn from it, and that's it. That's the curse for me. It should be a lesson, but of course, when you throw a curse, you never know, right? You never know how it unfolds. By the way, cheers, guys. I'm having a Heineken, but this video is not it's not sponsored by Heineken. Actually, I don't really know why I'm drinking Heineken. I could also try out this Spanish beer they have here. So you never know how curses unfold, actually. So even when doing even if you think that you wanna, or you summon a spirit and let's say do a blood ritual and focus your intent on that person, you visualize the outcome, and so forth. Even if it's not your intent to go for complete destruction, it may happen. So be prepared for that. But I was actually thinking about something else. I was thinking about this idea that usually when you throw a curse, you just do it, and then you let go and let the curse unfold, basically. So without thinking much about it, and I've talked about this in some of my other videos. EA Co-Editing has this nice ritual after engaging in magic to make a sandwich. It's just such a great idea to do that, because that's exactly a representation of just letting go of the magic and do something completely different, right? Eat something, ground yourself back in the physical. So that's certainly what it does. Or watch a movie or do anything, basically. Engage in any mundane activity. So, do you do that, or do you think about? Of course, you will think about it at some point. Has it really worked? And then you look for signs. At least at some points, you will start looking for signs. Has my magic really unfolded the way I planned it out? And I would even say, if you if you're really into it, if you really plan it out, or if you really feel the emotion, if you really feel the anger that you have, and if you have a working relationship with a spirit you have worked with before on multiple occasions, then there's no reason to doubt that this magic will fail in some form. So never ever consider the idea of your magic failing. And always, I would say always also, that's an important point. Sorry for the lack of structure of this video, but I just wanted to get this out. Never really stop your magical operation in the middle of it. So let's say you're preparing everything, calling the spirit, and then you feel not really into it, so that might happen. You might not really feel it. It might just be you think, okay, is the spirit really there? Is the spirit really there, or are you really that much invested in the whole operation? So you might not fully feel it. Just continue doing it. That's the most important part. Whatever magical ritual you're engaged in, try to complete it. Complete it, whatever it takes. That's the most important point, I would say. If it's a curse, in this case, we're talking about curses. Complete it. Just go on with your ritual. And of course, this video is not an encouragement for anyone throwing curses or harming anyone. So as I said in the beginning, my curses, for most of the time, I've also put it in perspective, saying that you cannot really gauge the effect of your curse, so be careful with that. And never ever, of course, never ever engage in any violent acts or anything like that. So I'm not encouraging that at all, right? So, but if there are people or a specific individual fucking with you, basically doing shit behind your back, or manipulating you in some form, or hindering your progress in whatever aspect of your life, then you have the right to act, right? So you can act on that, and of course, as I just pointed out, physical violence is never an option, right? Physical violence is not an option. So what else can you do? You can try to talk to that person. If you see there's like your words hit a wall and nothing gets through, or if you just know what kind of person that is, and that individual continues with that behavior, then you have no other choice. So the other way will be to escape the situation, of course. So you can just escape the situation, or if you decide to remain in the situation, you engage in some kind of let's say malicious form of magic, some kind of black magic or curse work. Yeah. You really have to feel it. That's the most important point. You really have to feel it. more or less to the extent almost that your life is dependent on it. And I would say most people just don't have that. Maybe they feel that rage, maybe they feel that anger inside of them to engage in such practice, but or they just feel that in a brief moment of effect, but they have problems reviving this emotional feeling when engaging in magic. So yeah, so feel your, try to revive the emotion in your mind. Try to revive the emotion in your mind. See the other person. See the other person. Also articulate to whatever spirit you're calling. Articulate why and how that spirit has harmed you, or not that spirit. Why and how that person has harmed you. So it is not really a justification of throwing the curse, but it is like you're just getting the details on the table, basically, because what you're doing is you're using the spirit, or you are employing the spirit as a kind of support for your magic, and you may even, that's even possible, just destroy that other person just through the power of your thought. So it is really also conceivable that you don't even need to call a spirit for it, but it makes it more powerful. And the effects, I would say, are more surprising. So yeah, I mean, but first of all, you need a working relationship with the spirit, and it is probably, I don't know exactly. It is probably not a good idea just to call an entity without knowing the entity, and then try to use that entity for the curse. I wouldn't do it, to be honest, but because it may just backfire. Yeah, so throw the curse, have an entity that you know and in a sense trust, and then the most important thing is while being in the operation, don't terminate it. Don't terminate it. Just go through it, and that applies to all sorts of magic, basically. Go through it. It's a natural product of your practice to have varying degrees of impact of your magic. So it's like let's say a sports person or a musician or whatever performer. You don't have the same performance. You just don't have the same performance on every single day. So that's important to be in mind. But you can stick to your plan, stick to your initial motivation, what you want to do, stick to your intention, and then go through with it. If you are sure what you want to do, that's the most important thing. But of course, people try to say, okay, people try to come with their moral stuff. That, I mean, of course, it's always every kind of interaction with an entity is always a form of exchange. There is an exchange, but you can just do it. You can just do it. It's not like I'm not talking about religion. If you're more like, if your mindset is coming more from a religious perspective, then of course you will have moral, ethical concerns about such things, and that's understandable. So I'm not saying anything negative about that right now. So that's understandable. I know where the people are coming from, why they're a little bit scared about that. That's perfectly fine, but if you're really into black magic, if you're really doing it because you're convinced that this is the path for you, and it's not for everyone, then you know the sort of exchange that's taking place, and it's not in a way that more religiously oriented people are trying to tell you. So yeah, I mean, simple blood sigil magic, calling a demon, calling a spirit, doing some pricking a finger. That's already very effective. But of course, know what you're doing and be clear about the consequences. So, short video, very unstructured, I know that. I initially wanted to talk about something else also, but I'm just finishing this off right now. And see you next time, guys. Talk to you soon.